Yes, hello. Part 5 of me on my journey of building a personal brand. Things I've learned this week, okay? And this isn't going to be a shock or a surprise. Consistency is the key to social media, okay? And what I mean by that is not just consistency in terms of ticking a box and putting content out there, but consistency in the realm of, hey, this light's bright, right? Oh, that's a little bit better. Consistency in the sense of doing the right things and the fundamental things on a consistent basis. Because if we're just posting content for content's sake, it's not going to work. And so I'm going to run you through my grid posts and stories and what I've learned about those two and how they sort of aid each other, I guess. The content that you are seeing here is over the past 30 days. And this views don't pay the bills, right? But it's one metric I'm currently tracking, just because more views means more eyes and then more opportunities. And so from this, the views I've got 1.5, 1.3, 1.2, 1.1, 1.1, and again we're in the thousands here. But then as we go down, it gets to the 800, then the 7s and the 6 and the 5, of course, right? That's how this works. But these thousander pieces of content are my newest ones. And if I can't do it right now because it won't let me, it's just not showing the data. But if we looked at the 90s, I would, it's actually worked, which is brilliant. Okay, we'll do this real time. So the content we're looking at here, we've got thousands of thousands, and as it goes down, and what's funny, right? And I'll tell you right now, what's funny is that the further down we go here, the older these posts are. Okay? And so the further we go up, the newer they are, which tells me that I am gaining traction. I am progressing in terms of views. Hopefully, let's see if we can get engagements up here. If it is views, mate, what's happening here? Come on now. We don't have that. Impressions, I think, is the next best thing. So we'll have a look at that there. Okay, impressions. Let's see. Kind of the same, right? Maybe not, a little bit more mix of a bag, but from a view standpoint, okay, again, if we're thinking of top of funnel stuff, more views is the top of that funnel. I'm getting more views because I'm being more consistent on social media. And what I mean by that is, yes, the grid post I post every day or near enough every day, but what's really benefiting me right now is stories. Like the stories, I believe, are the gateway into the grid posts. Stories are where people know you, like you, trust you, they buy into you as a person, and then as a byproduct of that, they become more interested in what you're actually doing, whether that's for work, hobbies, and so on and so forth. And then they start to go into your grid. And then I think over time, if they're really bought into you, then they'll go into like, okay, what other platforms is this person on? Is it YouTube? Is it an email list? Is it TikTok? And so the biggest thing I've learned this week is turning up more on social medias. And again, the way that I'm doing that is creating more narratives within my story. I'm emphasizing how much information I'm telling about myself in terms of I like this, I think this about this, I don't like this, here's my favorite thing to do on this day, and all these things, right? And so for example here, if we look at my actual grid and I use this example with a client the other day, one thing that I really enjoy doing is reading. So I made a content about books. Here, another piece of content about a book. If you scroll down a little bit more, there's another piece of content about a book. So now people will start, with my brand, they're going to start associating me with books, okay? Me, education, learning, and so on and so forth. But then when it comes to actually the narrative and the stories and in stories, to guide them into my grid posts, it's more about two things. One, your origin story, who are you, where have you come from? But then also the second stories are the current stories. What are your goals, what are your aspirations, what you're currently working towards. And I think that's where all of your personality lives, within your stories in there. So that's what's helped me right now. And then the second thing I've learned as well, and I'm implementing and have done over this week, which has worked well for me personally, and I think will gain traction as I go, is that every morning I'm going to try and every morning I am getting on my stories, drinking a coffee, because people associate me with coffee. It's part of my personal brand at this moment in time. But it's also an element of consistency that I can always have in my content, in the sense of, right, I know that when I have my first coffee a day, I'm going to make a story. So that makes consistency on my stories. It makes consistency for me, but then also makes consistency for my audience, because I believe that people like stable people. People like consistent people. If you can turn up consistently on social media, you then become a staple person in someone's life, right? Like people watch the news every day, and when the news person changes, people are like, oh shit, where's so-and-so gone? I'm used to him every morning. You want to have that kind of thing, right? And so, yeah, again, I'm thinking of doing these once a month because I don't know if weekly is currently working in a sense of having enough. And again, this isn't valuable information. This is more documentation for myself, if anything else. But I appreciate some people will be watching this right now and will be potentially in the future. So I might change this to monthly just so I can have more planning and more information and more comprehensive information for you. But other than that, consistency is key, and creating stories on your stories are the thing that are boosting up my views at this moment in time. Again, they don't pay the bills, but again, it's a metric that is going up, which is always a good sign. So I hope that's helped, and I hope you're having a great Sunday so far.